Hello Nintendo Wii here, welcome back to Let's Play Retro Games, and welcome to episode 26 of Games I Got Recently. After I've been through the games, I just want to share with you some updates to the channel. There's some really cool things happening soon, and if you have a look in the description, I've actually wrote it all up on a Patreon post, which is actually free to view, so feel free to go and read that. You don't need to pledge to me on Patreon, it's just somewhere that I could use as a blog, so really hope you're excited about everything to come. And now let's take a look at some of the games that I got recently. So the first one here, can't remember if I brought this up already or not, this is Theme Park for the Sega Saturn. I was really enjoying playing this, I've actually been playing it quite a lot, although I was getting kind of frustrated that none of my customers were happy and they always started crying, which was really irritating, so I haven't actually been back and played any more of it since, but I do really love the game, and I want to go back and try and make a really good park and actually progress in the game for once, because I've never really got very far, to be honest. Now, next up are just some really cheap Sega Saturn games that I picked up off eBay. Some that I've heard about. I haven't actually played a lot of these, so I can't really share my thoughts. This one's called Tunnel B1. I haven't played this one yet. From what I know, it's sort of a first-person shooter style game. I might give it a go in a bit and maybe put some gameplay up there, so if you see some gameplay then I have played it, but at the moment I haven't. Next one here, a game that I've played very briefly. It's not great, it's not as good as I was hoping. It's called Sega Touring Car Championship. I am going to try it with the steering wheel because I've got the steering wheel for the Saturn and that might improve it slightly. But from what I've played so far, the controls are kind of hard to get used to. It sort of turns way too fast compared to what you'd expect, but the graphics are really nice, I'll give it that at least. The next one here, a game that I've played very briefly and it seems like it would be quite a fun multiplayer game, quite a fun party game. It's called Blast Chamber. And it's basically like an enclosed area and it keeps spinning around and stuff. Would be quite fun in multiplayer, so maybe when I've got some friends over I could try this one. But the single player seems a bit basic. Another game I haven't tried yet, but I have played Fighters Mega Mix, which basically includes this game. This is Fighting Vipers. Just one that I wanted to pick up to boost my Sega Saturn collection a bit, because I do hear it's really good and I do quite enjoy the early 3D fighting games. So I'm really happy to have that one. And this game, I was hoping to get it with the light gun, but unfortunately I didn't win that, but I did manage to get the game on its own, so hopefully I'll pick up a light gun soon. This is Virtua Cop 2. I've played it in the arcades, as I'm sure a lot of you have. It's a really fun game, and I'm definitely looking forward to being able to play it at home as well, so that's Virtua Cop 2, or Virtua Cop 2. I always put the L on the end of this. This one's a fairly interesting game. This one's called Impact Racing. Imagine something like Ridge Racer, but then add in weapons as well. Makes for a really fun racing game. It's kind of simplistic and some of the courses aren't very interesting, but even so, I think it's worth a purchase. It wasn't very expensive, it was about $5, I think, so yeah, Impact Racing's a pretty cool game. And the last one here, I was very disappointed by this one. I played it very briefly. This one's called Revolution X, and it's basically a light gun game, but a really bad one. I really didn't enjoy this one very much at all, but oh well, it's something else for the Saturn. And that's all the Sega Saturn games that I picked up, and now we're going to move on to some Game Boy games, something a bit more exciting. So I'll start with two games that I've found at Kex. These are almost brand new. The condition on these is incredible. They both come with, I'll actually show you now actually, if I open these up. I'm actually scared to open them because the condition's that good. Of course, they come with the instructions, which I would say are really nice in colour, but this is the original Game Boy version, so everything's in sort of a weird purple colour. But it doesn't look like these have even been touched, they're literally brand new. And something else I was really excited to find inside there as well. Look at this is really cool. I might even put this up on the wall. Look at that. Perfect condition. I'll cover my face up so you can see it. And on the other side is an N64 one as well, so I'm really happy to have that. And I just really loved looking at all the games in these back in the day, so it's really cool whenever I manage to pick a game up that actually has these inside. And yeah, the game was in perfect condition as well. I'm kind of scared to put them back in as well in case I break it. I've actually got some box protectors coming soon off eBay. I'll put a link in the description to the company that sells them because they are really good. They're a good price and I've actually got quite a lot already, but I've ordered 30 more to put all the rest of my Game Boy collection in little boxes as well. And the other one here, RC Pro-Am, or Super RC Pro-Am, again comes in fantastic condition. I won't bother getting it out, but it's got all the manual in there as well. And the game's really fun too, and it's one of Rare's earlier Nintendo titles, which is always cool to see. There's the carts for them too, if you wanted to see. So they were very exciting, and then I actually traded in a lot of games and old DVDs and manga and anime that I didn't really want, and I picked up a very rare and expensive Game Boy game. I did a review of it the other day, so you can go back on my channel and see the review. It's called Starhawk, and I won't really talk too much about it now because you can go back on my channel and you can see the review that I did there. It's a really cool game. Not a lot of people actually saw the review, so if you didn't see it, I'll put the little eye in the corner up there so you can go and click on it and watch the review because it's really cool and I'm very happy to have it. That's not all for Game Boy. Here's just a few more Game Boy games I picked up from Kex yesterday actually. I was really amazed. I went back to the shop and they had loads of Game Boy games. I've actually got a video of the games that they had minus these ones, which I'll be playing now in the corner of the screen somewhere so you can see. But the games I actually picked up at the time, they were all really good prices as well, so I don't want to know how badly they ripped off the person who was trading them in, but that's beside the point. The first one here is Yoshi's Cookie. This one is a really fun puzzle game. It's also on the NES and the SNES and the N64 and the GameCube and pretty much everything else you can think of. But this is one of the first versions and it plays really well on the original Game Boy too, so very happy to have Yoshi's Cookie. The next one here, the main reason that I wanted to get these games in the first place, this one's actually quite hard to find. This one is Gargoyle's Quest. I think it's a spin-off of a NES game. Someone can tell me what it is in the comments below. I can't quite think of the name of it right now, but very happy to have this one. It's part RPG and part platformer, and it is loads of fun. And the next game here, Worms for the Game Boy. Really interesting to see how they managed to condense the actual Worms format onto the original Game Boy, and I think it actually plays really well, so fairly impressed by this one. And the same goes for, if I skip through these, the same goes for Lemmings again. Once again, it's amazing how they managed to compress the game to fit it onto the original Game Boy. It really does surprise me what the developers managed to get out of such limited hardware. That's one of the reasons I love the Game Boy so much and really enjoy collecting for it, just because you can sort of see the effort that they put into the games that you can't really see these days. And the other two games here, two very simple games but fairly fun. The first one is Radar Mission, which is basically battleships, and the other one is Golf. Before it was even called Mario Golf, it's literally called Golf. And it's very basic. The only thing I don't like about this golf game is the fact that you change your golf clubs but you can't actually see how much further away the ball's going to shoot, which makes it kind of awkward to play compared to some more modern games. And I have just come from Golf Story as well, so feels like a huge step back in that regard, but everything else plays really well. The physics are really good on it. So I've got one more retro game, and I've got two PS4 games that I just want to mention, and then I'll go into my channel updates. So the GameCube game we have here is WarioWare, what's it called? Mega Party Games. WarioWare Mega Party Games for the GameCube. I've wanted to get this game for ages. I actually rented it back in the day, but I've never actually owned it until now. So really happy to get this on eBay for a really good price, and I'm hoping to play it in multiplayer soon. And I'm actually thinking about doing a WarioWare series review video retrospective sort of thing in the future, so that's another reason why I picked this up, to help in that video coming sometime between now and next year. So yeah, really happy to have this. I haven't actually played it yet, but I'll definitely get around to it soon. And of course, I picked up Shenmue 1 and 2, amazing Dreamcast games. Unfortunately, they're not quite as good as I remember them being. I remember absolutely being blown away by them back in the day when I was younger. I did play it around 2002, so I haven't actually played it since then, and some of it hasn't quite held up to the test of time, but the game itself is still really fun. The environments are still super detailed, but the cutscenes nowadays seem really kind of awkward, but it's not stopping me from enjoying it. I do get a bit lost on the game though occasionally, so I do have to look up a walkthrough every now and then. Maybe I shouldn't admit that, but it does help me enjoy the game a bit more without getting really frustrated. But I definitely recommend it if you want to see two of Sega's finest games ever, honestly. They are still amazing, with a few niggles here and there, but they're still really good. And the last game we have here, and an amazing game, really impressed by this game. This is Detroit Become Human. I was very impressed all the way through. I love my story-driven games, and this one is one of the best I've played in a long time. So if you are considering getting Detroit, I would highly recommend it. Me and my girlfriend played it all the way through and we absolutely loved it. It's got some really interesting characters, and again by the creators of Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls, and those two games are fantastic as well. So if you haven't played any of the games, definitely go and play them, but Detroit Become Human is incredible. That's all I have to say about that. So there we go, that was just a few games that I've picked up recently. Now a few channel updates. I've got a lot coming up, I've got a lot of different events that I'm going to. So like I said at the start, if you want to read all this information, you can go to the link in the description, read it all on my Patreon, but I just want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up as to what's coming over the next few months. So in September we've got MCM Scotland. It's the first time we're actually doing that MCM, so I'm really excited to get some footage from that event and bring it back to show all you guys, and hopefully get some good pickups as well. If you noticed, I actually put a poll up to ask what kind of backlit GBA should I go for, because I really do want a backlit GBA, and I think I'm going to try and find an original GBA with a backlight mod, which would be really cool. So that is on the 22nd and 23rd of September, so I'll probably be putting a video up that weekend, or maybe Monday or Tuesday after. And I'm going on holiday to Tenerife in October, but the day after I come back is London Retro Gaming Market, so fingers crossed I'll be able to go there and I won't just be completely exhausted. So if I do get there, then expect a tour of the market a few days after, and that is the 21st of October. So if any of you guys are going to be there, definitely say hi. I was going to plan to arrange something like a big meetup, but maybe I'll save that until April. I think is the next one next year, so maybe I'll save it till then. And a few weeks after that, again in October, there's London MCM Comic Con. And I'm really excited because this is the first time I'm going to be cosplaying in a long time, and I'm actually going to be cosplaying Moneybags from Spyro, so that's going to be really fun. And wearing such a giant costume with big claws and stuff, I probably won't be able to buy many games, but I'm sure I'll find a way around that. So expect a tour of that event and some pickups a few days after that, and that was the 26th and 28th of October. And the one after that in November is Birmingham Comic Con as well, so once again that is the 24th and 25th of November. So I've got loads coming up, and I'm not going to go through everything else, you can go and read it, but I've got loads of cool video ideas and some collaborations that I'm doing as well. So I'll probably end the video there. It's been going on quite a while and I need some food, so I'll finish the video there. Thank you very much for watching, really hope you enjoyed it. It's so great to see so many new people, as always, coming to the channel. It's really great. Leave a comment in the comments section below if you're new, that'd be really cool. And I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye!